So the dark blue car with its silver and its green flashes, Perry Darling lines up on pole position. It's yellow and red for Sarah Thompson alongside. She's been deaf from a very early age, and therefore it's quite difficult for her to hear the engine revs. It's very difficult. She has to look down at what the revs are, look back up at the lights, look back down at the revs, look back up at the lights, and therefore it's more work for her to do. So fantastic work being done by her. Let's have a quick look. Red lights are on the gantry. Lights flash their way out now. And again, Sarah Thompson, as she was in the race earlier on, a little bit slower away. Towards Pilgrim's Drop. You can see there Darren King was trying to prise the door open in the silver and black car on Sarah Thompson, but Sarah Thompson was equally as much trying to make amends for the places lost earlier on. Brake lights flash on as they turn their way through Westfield Corner. Darren King, who also had a good run previous corner, now has Sarah Thompson just drive right the way back alongside him. Order still remains the same though. Graham Hurd from Wayne Gregory, from Perry Darling, then it's Sarah Thompson. Sarah Thompson now going all the way around the outside of Perry Darling. She's just set the fastest lap of the race, and she's going to go through to pick up the final podium spot with 5.5 minutes to go. Is she going to be able to sneak through, gain another place? Yes, she is. Through goes Sarah Thompson. Started this particular lap in 4th position. She's now up into 2nd place as her car all of a sudden really hits the sweet spot. So it's another change for the lead of the race. Sarah Thompson, who now goes through and ahead of Graham Hurd. Sarah Thompson wins round 4 of the 2024 Woods Foodservice's Porsche Club Motorsport Boxster Cup. And news has just reached me. Sarah Thompson, in the closing stages of the race, picked up a 5-second penalty for track limits. So on corrected times, Graham Hurd will claim the win.
So, I'm Sarah Thompson. I live in the Scottish Borders near West Linton. It's quite great that we have so much space and land around us. Typically cut firewood for the winter, ride my dirt bike, just get muddy basically. And yeah, live the country life and it's great.
Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, good. I think Brands Hatch, even just passing the line first, is a great achievement in itself. Yeah, because it was the last lap that the 3rd track limits came on, it wasn't known until afterwards. So, bit of a shame, but thankfully I'm a bit pessimistic, so I didn't feel that until like it was final, but because it wasn't.
I think the whole team felt the same. I think it felt like you'd had your pockets picked, and she deserved it because she drove so well. But rules are rules. It was very, very marginal, but at the end of the day, you know, it's like VAR. The system says that you were over the line, even though it was 20-30 millimetres. It was over the line, so yeah. I
think each race is continuously just see what happens each one. I don't think you can... Excuse me, sir. I think you can't decide like what's going to happen because everyone's better at different tracks and different tracks suit other people. I think the only difference would be for going forwards is just keeping it consistent. I want to try and finish every race this year. I think that's just a good aim is not to have any many incidents and just keep the car tidy.
You do run race to race and try and do your best at every event. Murphy, shush. But at the end of the day, you don't win championships unless you finish. And to finish first you've got to finish. And the important thing is she's being very consistent, but consistently fast. If she can build the results and produce the performance that demonstrates to potential sponsor that she could be a winner, and given her backstory, then hopefully someday somebody out there will say, you know what, I'll take a chance. I'll give her some funding, and who knows where that'll take her.
And welcome to the Anglesey Racing Circuit here at Track Mon at the coastal circuit configuration for the Porsche Boxster Cup.
It's very, very scenic Anglesey circuit. We have the gorgeous view of this commentary box where the cars go one way in front of us, then back the other way in front of us, and then we have the cliff, the sea, and then the mountains of Snowdonia in the distance. It is an absolutely spectacular view.
The main story that most people know about is that I'm hard of hearing, and I started going deaf at 13. Before that, from the age of 8 to 12, I lived in the Middle East. Yeah, I think growing up, having toys like buggies and little toy cars, you kind of grew up with the idea of it and the dream of it, but having it actually as a reality is amazing. When I was 20, my dad asked what I wanted for my 21st birthday. And typically, as you do, I was like, I want a racing car. And he's like, that's not going to happen. 6 months later, got a racing car and went racing. We originally started looking at what championships to enter. Like a basic championship that's quite good for beginners. The Boxster Cup obviously came up, and there was other things like the Caterhams or Ginettas. And the Porsche Championship looked the most appealing, the most friendly, and honestly, I haven't looked back since. It's been amazing. For the first 3 years of the championship, or 2 years, we were looking after the car ourselves. It was really difficult to then give it over to someone else to look after, but Strasa is an amazing team and they do such a good job with the car. Honestly, what's really big about it is just everyone's there for each other, like they're almost like family. They're just so supportive and friendly. It's just amazing.
So green flag waved at the tail end of the order. We wait for the red lights to come on. The red lights come on now, and who will get the best start from the front row as we get this race underway? So I'd say the best of the starts is made by both drivers on that second row. Darren King and Wayne Gregory absolutely pushing each other in towards turn one, but he does have the number 99 machine all over his tail. That's not the 99, it is the number 90 of Sarah Thompson.
Sarah is, to my knowledge, the only deaf racer currently racing in the UK. I'd love to know if there are more, but she is completely deaf, so she can't hear her engine, she can't hear the tyre noise, she can't hear other cars around her, so is working from a different set of sensory inputs to everybody else out there, which is quite phenomenal how well.
Very impressive, yeah, very, very impressive indeed. Sarah Thompson, she's really starting to push on now and looking for a move up the inside of turn one. The opportunity doesn't present itself. Faye Noble Evans is in the meantime locked in a battle with Mike Thompson, who is trying to carve his way inside the top five. The top five, there's brilliant battles, but the mid-pack, there's so much going on there as well.
But Mike Thompson actually got past Faye Noble Evans on the pit straight. There seems to have now lost down to, but it's got down the inside again going into Church. So I think that's a battle that could give and give.
Over the line it will be the Wayne Gregory. They've got the number 17 machine of Darren King really starting to close in as well. So those top three separated by very little indeed. Yeah, big move up the inside there from Mike Thompson. Did it pay off on Faye Noble Evans? They holds on to the outside of the run-through peel. On the brakes in towards the carousel. Very low in towards the corkscrew. Mike Thompson later on the brakes. Contact between the pair of them. Faye Noble Evans is spun through 180 degrees. Mike Thompson is involved in that one. To the pit lane will come Mike Thompson. Faye Noble Evans carries on through. I think the other car involved was potentially the number 96 machine, that being Charlie Dye. And over the line now, we're seeing another battle start to form. Darren King is really starting to hustle on Perry Darling as they work their way through turn 1. Further down, it is Ben Grucock. He's still fighting away with Sarah Thompson. So second and third fighting away, fourth and fifth fighting away as well. And that's going to be music to the ears of Wayne Gregory in the lead of the race, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah, he's going to really want his teammate, isn't it? There, Darren King, who can hopefully stop any sort of chase from Perry Darling.
Ben Grucock still in the big pressure from Sarah Thompson, using all of the drag. Going from white line to white line is Sarah Thompson on the exit of Peel. Down through the corkscrew they will go, and Sarah Thompson looks very racy indeed at this section of the race. Through the final corner, gets a good run, nails the exit. What a brilliant section of circuit that was for Sarah Thompson. Really closed up on those cars up the road. Here we have a look towards the exit of turn 3 and towards turn 4. They remain as they are in the background of the live stream at the moment. We're keeping an eye on Sarah Thompson because she is closing in on Ben Grucock. The first sort of sector, Ben Grucock pulls away, but then it's that final sort of half of the circuit. That's where Sarah Thompson really starts to close in. Sarah Thompson really starting to hustle Ben Grucock now as they come over the line, absolutely together. This is, again, just fabulous racing. This is now the battle for second has effectively become the battle for third. 3 cars all fighting over that final step on the podium. At least that is what it's shaping up for.
I think when you're driving, I think the key is to try and stay in that headspace of you're only with your competitors and it's the track and you're focusing on the right lines, because it can be quite hard when you're stressed to kind of go off in your head, but then that's where you lose out because you miss an apex or something. So you really need to have that mental game to focus on the whole race basically.
Now we're seeing Sarah Thompson close in on Ben Grucock, who is in turn closing in on Darren King. Darren King's race, it's sort of consistently changing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got pace for a couple of laps and then seems to lose it. I'm not sure if he's making a mistake in the technical section, which will be very, very new to him. But the only person having a quiet race in the top 10 is our race leader.
Now we're potentially seeing Ben Grucock close closer and closer and closer on towards Darren King as they work their way up towards Rockyton. They remain as they are. Sarah Thompson has a little look but decides maybe not this time is the time to go for the move. So we've got 3 cars all fighting over the final step of the podium at the moment.
Sarah is now close right up on Ben Grucock.
Yeah, so close. Sarah Thompson now trying to work her way past the car of Ben Grucock. That allows Darren King just to pull away a little bit.
So Sarah has gone down the inside into the hill. She's got inside Ben Grucock. I seem to recall her actually very good at that move last year here. So obviously she's remembered what worked there and absolutely superbly. Now can she pull away from Ben Grucock and put pressure on Darren King, the car in front?
Darren King does get compromised on the exit of the final corner. He was trying to pick his way through and past Sarah Wood, but then all of a sudden diving to the inside is Sarah Thompson. She picks her way through, gets a good run on the exit of turn 1. Sarah Thompson looked to the outside. Will she get the cutback and potentially dive to the inside? No, not this time. But we know how quick she is, especially on this section of circuit. We're approaching Rockyton. She's bought herself a bit of time between herself and Ben Grucock, who's just sat behind. Who gets the best run on the exit of Church? I'd say that's Sarah Thompson. Much quicker in a straight line, much quicker on the exit. But now Darren King has to fight harder than ever. Sarah Thompson all the way around the outside. She tries to make it work at turn 3. It doesn't work for her. That allows Darren King to get a good exit, but we know how quick Sarah Thompson is on the next section of circuit.
Possibly a little too far back to see the move we saw her pull down the inside. She was very, very brave on the brakes, and I think she's gone for it. She's tried to put that car down the inside, side by side with Darren. she's on the outside yellow flag, so she's been banged to Darcy's car, stop there. But Darren King takes to the inside very, very early, very, very defensive there. He's really compromising his line just to hold that car back, and that's letting Gregory get in the mix. Sarah half a car down the inside, coming down to the corkscrew.
Yeah, I think Sarah saw the yellow flags, peeled off until she found the green flags. Green flags arrived, and Sarah Thompson appears first, heading in towards the final couple of corners. So Sarah Thompson has managed to pick her way through and past Darren King. So Sarah Thompson up into third place. Darren King does what he can to fight back.
So with Sarah has twice finished on the podium, twice had it taken away from her. In one case, a race win at Brands Hatch, which as she crossed the line had a track limits penalty flash up. So yeah, never had actually had a podium that she could keep. We see that she's a racer, we can see that she loves to overtake. So yeah, this is going to be well deserved if she can hang on.
Sarah Thompson, Darren King and Ben Krupach, who are absolutely there, absolutely nose to tail, brilliant to watch. Those three cars all fighting over the final step on the podium, but we are on the final lap of the race. Checkered flag is waiting for him, and Wayne Gregory wins the Wood Foodservice Porsche Club Motorsport Boxster Cup here at Anglesey, the first race of the weekend for them. Perry Darling crosses the line to finish in second, and it will be Sarah Thompson over the line to round out your podium. She fought so hard to pick up that podium.
Anglesey was a really good race. Really, probably one of the biggest fights I've had, or like racing with people. From the outside, it doesn't seem like it seems really stressful and intense, and it is like, but it's so enjoyable at the same time. Like the camaraderie in the paddock afterwards, even though you're competing against each other, once you're out of that car, you're all just great friends, and it's just a really nice place to be. On the circuit, it's so stressful and intense, but it's very rewarding. So I used to always say when I was a kid that I'm going to be a racing driver when I grow up. Never think it would actually happen. So it's truly a child's dream come true.
For the two Woods Foodservice Porsche Club Motorsport Boxster Cup races today. So we're going to move on to race one, which doesn't seem an awful long time ago. But third place in race one, scoring her first podium. Please, a big round of applause. It's Sarah Thompson!